I gotta say, this looks absolutely ridiculous. And here it is, the potato-powered hovercraft in all of its glory. There it is. We have rapid-firing spud guns on. Hey everybody, it's Moonbo here, and welcome back to more Endless Scrap Mechanic. Now, in today's episode of Scrap Mechanic Creations, we are going to be checking out a truck and a hovercraft, but they are not ordinary vehicles because they are potato-powered. That is right, guys. With this new spud gun that has been added to Scrap Mechanic, a whole bunch of possibilities have been unlocked, and one of them is the spud gun creating movable physics. Now, to show you what I mean by that, we can very easily turn this little spud cannon mounted seat here into something very different, and all we have to do is actually attach a little section right here and block off the shots from the spud gun. Now look at what happens here, guys. We have now created forward momentum using the spud cannon. So, of course, there are gonna be a whole bunch of different ways that we can implement it. I gotta say, this looks absolutely ridiculous. It's like I'm scooting my butt along the ground here. But we can do a whole bunch of other things, and wow, hold on. This is actually working a little bit better than I expected it to, but we can use this in many, many different ways. So we're gonna be checking out a truck that uses spud. Okay. Warning, guys, warning. On the test server, if you're using the Spud Gun update, creations will fly away and possibly disappear. Alright, I honestly have no idea where that went, but as I was saying, there is a truck and a hovercraft, quote-unquote. It's not the best that I have tried to make in this game, so we're going to be checking out the truck. We're going to show a quick time-lapse of the build of the hovercraft so you can see what is going on, and then we're going to try our best to fly that contraption. So let's check it out. So, the first creation that we are going to be checking out is the Spud-powered truck. Now, as you can see, this thing does look relatively simple. It is all vanilla, of course, and it is a single-seater right there, as you can see, and obviously, you guessed it, this thing is powered by spud guns. So how about we hop into the seat here and get a quick look at what this looks like while it is driving around. All you gotta do is press the 1 key, and now W and S control spud cannons. So here we go. If I press W, there it is. We have rapid-firing spud guns on the inside of this truck, and look at this, guys. We are gaining so much momentum right now. These spud guns actually work as an engine. Now, we can press the 1 key again, and that will turn the spud guns off, and you will just come to a slow rest. Now, I'll explain how I designed the utility of this in a moment, but I'll show you guys as well. You can reverse, too. If you press W and S, just S, you will get the reverse function, and there you go. Look at that. I am now reversing with the power of potatoes, guys. This is completely absurd in Scrap Mechanic. Alright, so I've spawned a second truck right here so that we can dissect it and take a closer look at what is going on inside of this thing. So if we remove the front hood right here, just like that, okay, you'll see I will have removed the front wheels. Let's try that again. Alright, so the real reason why I spawned 2 of these was because I had a feeling I was going to do something silly like that. Alright, so let me check first where the front wheels are, and we're gonna be a little more careful this time. There we go. Alright, so now you can see this is the front section right here, and this is using a relatively simple W and S converter. Now, here's the interesting part. I had to put 2 separate converters, one in the front and one in the back, to be able to separate the front and back spud action. So if I'm very careful back here as well, we should be able to open this up, and there you go. So here is the second one right here. Now, the best way to see this in action is to actually hop into the seat here. Now, like I mentioned before, I added the 1 key, which will toggle your spud cannons on and off, and basically it's kind of like turning on the neutral function of the truck. So if we press W right here, you can see that is your forward spud cannon. So what's happening is this back one right here, if you can see it, it kind of droops, but when you press W, it removes it from that sensor right down there, and if I press S, it'll lock it in, and there you go, you can see the sensor is activating, and just the complete opposite is happening in the front here. So when I press S on the front, you can see it actually removes it from the sensor, and that is where it activates it on the sensor in the back, so that's where you get your reverse spud guns, and then on the front here, if I press W, that one right there will go in front of the sensor, and that one will reverse, and there you go, you have your two different forward and backward functions. So if we kind of just press the one key just like that, you can see we can actually press the W key, and there we go. We are getting our spud guns moving, and if we press the S key, it'll switch between the two converters, and eventually, it's kind of weird, you will slowly possibly hook on. There we go, and now the spud guns will start pushing us in the reverse direction. Now, it's kind of annoying, though. You might have noticed, when you gain momentum and movement in the game, sometimes the spud gun, the spuds that come out of them, for some reason they go right through the creations and there's no physics change whatsoever, and I'm sure you probably saw that. We can show you one more time. If I slam down S, look at that. You can see there are actually spuds launching out the back of the truck, despite there being a complete wall right here, so there should be no reason why they're doing that, which is kind of strange. But I mean, nonetheless, this is all in the test branch right now. We're trying it all out, and I think this is a pretty good concept for a little spud gun driven vehicle. Now, how about we check out the quick time lapse of the hovercraft so you can see some of the issues that I had. Now, if you watch closely in the time lapse, you will see that there were definitely a lot of major bugs and issues using these spud guns and glitching out and stuff like that, so it really makes for a hard time. So keep that in mind when we check the build out afterwards. And here it is, the potato-powered hovercraft in all of its glory. Now, I must say, this thing does not fly in the smoothest whatsoever, but it's still kind of ridiculous, so let's just drop this off of the lift here. I mean, I can try and explain what I got going on here. I basically just have a bunch of repeaters. I'm not 100% sure what the technical logic term is, but you can see they are all blinking very, very fast, and basically I have a bunch of buttons and switches that I've hooked up so that I can turn them on and off and have them continuously firing the potato, because normally they only shoot one at a time. So let's hop into the main seat right here. Now look at this, we got a few buttons and switches. So I do wanted to mention that I kind of wired this and designed it the same way that I would as if these were thrusters. The only thing is you have to point them in weird directions, and they are not very stable, and they're not very consistent either. But now we can press the 1 key, and we're going to kind of do this at one little step at a time, and you'll see some problems here. So let's press 1. There we go. Look at this. We are now hovering using the power of spud guns, but look at this, guys. So you'll see really fast, they're not very consistent. I mean, sometimes they don't all fire at the same time, and I've noticed that I could be going straight up for one moment, but all of a sudden I will start to really tip over, and there you go. I turned it off and on again, and then it launched the whole thing over and did like a bit of a backflip. So you can see the consistency in the spud guns are really not there yet, but I really wanted to make a hovercraft that used only spud guns. So I have to reiterate, guys, the spud guns are for the turning, they're for the pitch control, they are for the yaw. It is absolutely fantastic, and I can only show you guys very quick glimpses of what it looks like when it's actually happening. So let's start with the forward. So if I press the 1 key and then quickly press the 2 key, you can see, there we go, I am now using spuds to move forward, but like I mentioned, the consistency is really rough. I feel like the Wright brothers right now, except with hovercrafts and spud guns. Alright, so another quick example I will do is the pitch control. So if we press the 1 key and I press 3, I can go back like that. If I press 4, I can spud my way back forward again. And there you go. You can see, though, the inconsistencies are just kind of launching me off to the side here, but we will land safe and sound, and let's try that again. Alright, so you saw the normal hover just like that. We also have the hover with the forward like that as well. We have forward and backwards pitch control, which kind of works rudimentary. We also have another function, which is 5 and 6, and look at that, guys, that is left and right roll. You can see it wants to work, you know. I think it's progress. I think this is unlocking some possibilities, and maybe in some future updates the spud guns might get some improvements. And last but not least, the final control that I did add was sensor controlled yaw. So if we press the 1 key and hope for a level start, for some reason sometimes we don't, but look at this, guys. We can spin around like this to the left, we can spin around to the right like that. Oh man, I find it hilarious. This thing is just not consistent whatsoever. And okay, there it is. Look at this. This is it, guys. This is happening live right now. You can see the creation totally spazzed out, and that will happen randomly when you're just kind of hovering around. So let's just try this again here. I'm gonna focus really hard on keeping this thing level. Oh, there we go. Look, I just kind of brought it back up, and nope. Oh, and we're freaking out again. Yep, we're freaking out. Alright, so there it is. It's now a spinning spud launching turret of death. Beware, this thing is extremely deadly. And maybe one day we will slowly come to a rest. Nope. So, I mean, people were mentioning, you know, make a spud gun powered hovercraft, and if you ask me, I mean, this is a great success, and nope, never, okay, yeah, okay, never mind, yeah, it is a great success. Look at this thing, we're hovering around, no problem whatsoever. So, I mean, you know what, this challenge was pretty easy, because this looks like a creation that really doesn't have a hard time staying in the air. So there you have it, guys. That is 2 potato-powered creations in Scrap Mechanic. We got the Spud-powered hovercraft as well as the potato-powered truck over there. Both of them are really, really cool. Some of them have their issues, and I think there will be some kinks to work out with the Spud Gun in the future, but I'm super excited for it. So of course, guys, if you did enjoy the video, then let me know by hitting that like button, and if you want to see some more Endless Scrap Mechanic, then consider subscribing to the channel and maybe even turning on some of those notifications so you can get the latest and the craziest coming from me in Scrap Mechanic. So thanks again, guys, for tuning into that Endless Scrap Mechanic, and I guess I'll be seeing you in the next one, so bye for now. I'm gonna Vamanos here in my Spud-powered truck. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's go.